Alright, how's it going, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Two Gents Opinions, bud. Another top 5 list.
Indeed. This time, TV dramas.
So full disclosure, I don't watch a lot of drama shows.
Mm-hmm.
So my top 2 are going to be very surprising for some people.
Dramedies.
No, they're not dramedies. They're just like, they're going to be like, really? Those are your shows?
But these are also hour-long dramas as well, not half hour or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I
Suppose
understood when we...
Yeah, no, just making sure like everyone knows what we're talking about.
And I'll just say, too, that basically, other than the 1 and 2 of my list, 3, 4, and 5 I've never rewatched.
Right.
They're just shows I watched beginning to end, and then I kind of just left them. So I'll see if I can remember enough about them. But
Okay.
Anyways, do you want to start or?
Yeah, I'm just gonna blast through my honorable mentions. I don't want to get too.
Yes, I don't really have any.
Because you don't have any. So one of my honorable mentions, if it wasn't for a terribly bad season 2, it might be in my top 5. But True Detective, the first season of True Detective was
I didn't
amazing.
even think of throwing that on there. Yeah, because it was like a mini series.
It was a mini series, and then the second season came out, and it was just kind of
that season was
crap.
terrible.
Yeah,
I love the first one.
Yeah, the first one's great. So that's for me. Makes my honorable mentions. Obviously, I won't talk too much about it, but if you haven't seen it, watch season 1. Don't feel obligated.
Yes.
Yeah, don't feel
they're
obligated.
Not connected. So.
No, they're not. They're not connected. Another one, Daredevil, the Marvel series.
I watched the first season. It was okay.
Yeah, I really like season 1 and the first half of season 2. Second half kind of goes down a little bit, but it's really good. Like really well lit, great action scenes.
That hallway scene's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and even the last battle scene with like Wilson Fisk and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a good show.
It is definitely a good show, but I don't know if it would break my top 5. Next one is
clearly it didn't.
Oh, obviously, yeah. I suppose that's true. Next one is Peaky Blinders.
Is that Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy is in it. Yeah, he comes in later on, but yeah, Cillian Murphy as well.
I like him. That's how you pronounce his name.
Cillian, yeah.
I thought it was Cillian.
No, I think it's Cillian.
Is that only the way you pronounce it though, or is it like?
I feel like it's the
like
right.
How you pronounce
I used to. Here we go again. I think like I had to Google it. I thought it was Cillian as well, but I think it's Cillian.
It's Cillian? Cool.
I might be incorrect though. Sorry.
I'm a fan of him.
Yeah, it's like a 20s set British gangster show. I really like it. And the last one, which for a lot, I didn't really have much else to say about that. As I said, I'm just kind of blasting through these. And then the last one, which a lot of people would be in their top 5, but not their number 1 spot. For me, it doesn't quite make it. Is The Wire. I love The Wire. It's a great show. I just realized I forgot another honorable mention. But
Sopranos?
That's spoilers. So yeah, The Wire is in there. I think it's a great show. Such a really well done, gritty, almost documentary style. And also, final honorable mention is Mr. Robot. I think the first season of that was great. Second season was decent. Kind of a little bit got a little bit lost, but yeah, I think overall that's a great show. Rami Malek's amazing in that. And so that was very quickly my honorable mentions.
I guess I could say one honorable mention. I never ended up finishing the show, but actually it was okay at the start and everything. Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
That was actually a really good show. Really well done. It got a little bit repetitive for me. It was kind of like the same things, like, oh, here's fucking Taylor Kitsch's character Riggs. Like, oh, is he gonna go to college? He's not going to college. He went to college. He didn't go to college.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like repetitive things. Michael B. Jordan's in that though. Apparently he's really good in last season. And I mean, Kyle Chandler's amazing as Coach Taylor. Really embodies what football coaches, man. But yeah, that's a pretty good show. I should probably finish it, but I never got the chance to. Kind of jumped the shark too. They had the one guy kill a guy, and it was weird. But yeah, that's about my only honorable mention I can think of.
Fair enough.
Do you want to start with number 5?
I will. So, like, a lot of people will disagree with the order, if not some of the shows are on
That is
here.
your opinion.
But yeah, exactly.
They're going to hate mine.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. The number 5 is a classic. It's probably one that's defined a lot. It's one that changed television, for sure, and that is The Sopranos. It's a really good like gangster show, but it's not about gangsters in a weird... Well, it is about gangsters, but it's not... full-on violence. It's more about the psychology of it and people and the family aspect. So it was definitely different than what I was expecting it to be, but it's a really good show.
Yeah, and it's like basically about a mob boss guy who does therapy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's a sign of weakness, really. Like, if you have to go for therapy and that kind of culture, and it's more psychological than anything. And just the whole family aspect. It's really subtle, really well done. And yeah, it's a really good show.
And it has Jamie Lynn Sigler in it.
That's true.
And know what other show she was in?
Entourage.
Entourage! Played herself. She hooked up with Turtle, dated Turtle. Very weird.
Yeah.
I was like fat Turtle too. That wasn't like fit Turtle.
I'm going to pretend I know what you're talking about. But
You should probably get into it. Come on.
So it's been a while since I rewatched The Sopranos, but I feel like I should.
I've only seen the pilot in class.
Yeah.
Didn't get into it. Again, it was in class.
It's definitely slow moving. It's definitely slower than I expected, but it's really good. My favorite episode is when Christopher and oh my god, the character's name escapes me. They get caught out in the snow, and it's kind of almost like a comedy, like full out comedy episode. Nice. That one, and yeah, I don't really have much more to say on that. If I'm honest.
I'll say one more honorable mention. I guess another show that I didn't finish. I got about to season 6, and then with these dramas, man, like you start watching them after they finished.
Yeah.
So you hammer through them, and then you get to a point where you get bored of it because you're like, I watched so much of it. Yeah. So you stop watching it, but when you come back, you're like, I don't remember anything.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I will say Smallville.
Oh, okay, right.
It was pretty good. Yeah. It was that show kind of followed a format at the beginning where it's like a bunch of people got powers and you had to stop them, and then it kind of delved more into different things. Oh, that just made me remember an honorable mention for TV comedies, but I won't get into it.
What you said about the whole like blasting through, that's the thing with The Sopranos. That's how I watched it. It wasn't like it didn't have that kind of build. Like I watched a season and then a year wait.
You had to wait. Yeah.
So I think that also does play a part of it. So I wasn't like kind of left on a hook. I could just watch the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And
kind of ruins it.
Yeah, exactly. It does kind of take you out.
I don't appreciate it as much.
Exactly. So yeah, that's why Sopranos maybe a little bit lower on my list.
So my number 5 is Dexter.
Dexter, yeah.
I really love that show. I got into that show right around. I think I caught up around season 6, maybe, because they had 9 seasons, I believe.
Right.
I really loved the concept. It was cool. The first few seasons were awesome when you didn't know if he was getting caught or not, and then like when I think it was Dokes, the black guy, finds him, and then he has to kill him, and it was really good. Really, really well told stories. The killers were always cool. John Lithgow, terrifying in it. I will say I had it spoiled for me though. If anybody hasn't seen Dexter, a little bit of spoilers here, but I found out that Rita, his wife, gets murdered because I was downloading the torrent of it on Pirate Bay, the season, and I was looking at the comments. It's like, oh my god, couldn't believe they killed her. I was like, fuck. So that entire season, I knew she was gonna die, but I didn't know how.
That's something at least. It's kind of
but
speaking of spoilers, we'll come to that later on. One of mine, I got spoiled.
I think I know what show it is, and you probably shouldn't, but I don't know. We'll get into it if I can remember. Anyways, but I'll also say with Dexter is the problem with it was a lot of people hated the finale because he basically. Do you know the show at all?
I've watched pieces. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Yeah, so in the finale, he basically drives his boat into a hurricane.
Right.
And then the boat, you see it, it's destroyed.
Yeah, he survives, right?
Yeah, and then it cuts to him in like Alberta or something, like a logging factory. Yeah, he's a lumberjack, and the camera just pans on his face. So the reason that happened was he was supposed to die, but Showtime wanted to make sure that if they ever brought him back, so they're like, they had to film that as an end. They're like, so we had to do it. So the people who created the show were against it,
right?
But they had to put it in because of Showtime. Which was kind of weird. But, and again, like I said, a lot of people, they found it got repetitive because it's always a killer and then he kills them. I think it should have ended with him getting a protege and then a protege killing him and him kind of accepting it because he's like, he hates what he does. But then somebody killed him and it's like he's passing it on kind of thing. Which is weird that they didn't. Seemed like it was an obvious end to it. Yeah, but whatever. Sense, yeah. So yeah, Dexter. Good show. I'd recommend it. I don't know if I didn't spoil too much about it.
just all of it, but
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so mine is a show that was really big in the 90s, had a huge break, and has just come back this year with a great season. That's Twin Peaks.
Yeah, you were talking about that before the list.
Yeah, I know, right?
I forgot Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is a really weird, surreal show. It's definitely like a black comedy in places. The second season is hard to follow, if I'm not gonna lie. It definitely gets much more surrealist and off the wall. Well, so is it.
How many seasons did they do?
3 in total now, but
they had 2, and then they did a bunch of.
They had 2, and then they had a 25-year break for story reasons. Like, if you watch the show, you'll
but like it was planned to have a 25-year break.
Yeah. Okay, it kind of ended naturally. They didn't have to continue it, but yeah, if he was going to bring it back, it would be 25 years later.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But I actually think it's 25 years. Yeah, exactly 25 years later. And the first season, it's really surreal. But the first season was also great. It kind of left off. It was almost completely different tonally. Like it wasn't about the town as much, but more about these new characters. And it was just a whole David Lynch long film.
Cool.
And so yeah, I really liked season 3, and I think it's just a really great, engaging show. It does the crime aspects really well, but has this really surreal Lynchian feel to it.
So what's the show? Because I don't know the show at all.
Okay, so basically it's about a young girl, a young teenager, I guess, or not even young, like a cheerleader, kind of that model type teenager, gets killed, and
Jesus Christ, you could have just said that from the get-go.
I know, yeah.
Trying to describe this woman.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of part of it. But so FBI agent Cooper is this very eccentric character, played by Carl McLaughlin, comes to town and he tries to basically investigate who caused the murder and gets involved in this whole crazy story and you find lots of different. I won't spoil it.
Yeah,
because I don't think I could spoil it even if I try explaining it because it's so complex. But they basically go on this chase trying to investigate who did the murder, and there's all this symbolism the whole way through. There's the Red Room, which you probably know the Red Room even if you haven't seen the show. I think the Simpsons do parody it, but they all speak backwards in the Red Room. And,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a crazy show, but very good.
Are the movies any good?
Fire Walk With Me was good, yeah. I liked it, but not necessarily needed. But
do you have to watch the movies to get the show, or are they kind of standalones?
The one's a prequel, really, so you don't need to watch it.
Cool.
But no, I'd recommend the show highly. So yeah, I kind of butchered my description of it, but oh well.
That was just gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, I know, right? That's Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I guess your description of it kind of fits the tone of the show.
Yeah, wild, goes around in circles.
Twin Peaks. Yeah. So number 4 for me is one that a lot of people hate it because of how it ended.
Okay.
And it does, they like refute, they're like, it doesn't matter how great it was at the beginning, they're like, at the end of it, they're like, oh, that was a terrible ending, the show sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Lost.
Right. Oh, right, yeah. That's definitely...
And I enjoyed the ending. I was fine with it, it was a little confusing, but I'm cool with it, man. Endings are hard, and like the crazy thing about that show is that they didn't even know where they were going from the get-go. Yeah. They literally were like, they were discovering what the show was while they were writing it, which is insane. But I'd say, like, I think it's one of the best written shows at the beginning of the seasons. Everything you kind of just didn't know what was going on and you really wanted to know. Yeah. That pilot was great. All the characters are really good, and they had one of the best. I love that episode with Desmond where he like goes back in time and he keeps going back in time and coming back. Fuck, that show is so good. Just swore.
See?
And then just a lot, like, their deaths were really good. All the stories. They had one weird episode where they buried the people alive because they weren't actually dead.
Oh, right, yeah.
Remember that one? Did you see the show?
I actually haven't seen it.
Seriously?
No, I've not. Because everyone says how bad the ending was, so I'm like, do I really want to invest
so you in one of those people too, where just like you just ignore the first like 4 seasons.
I haven't seen any of it, yeah. So,
but I'm saying, watch it. Man, watch it. It's a good show.
I've heard it's good, and I probably would like it, but no, I've never actually taken the time to watch Lost.
Dude, you gotta watch it. It's really, really good. Like I said, the entire time you're kind of like, what's going on? What's up with this island? Sometimes some of the reveals are good. Sometimes some of them are like, really?
Yeah.
They kind of lost themselves. They do one where they kind of go back in time, and
right.
It's kind of loose because they kind of just jump the shark a lot. But overall, like I said, great written show, and the idea that they were kind of just making it up on the spot. I mean, kudos to them, man. Endings are hard, and I think I liked it, but yeah, a lot of people. I hate those people who are like, the ending sucked. It's like, they could have done so much better. It's like, well, what would the end have been for you? Like, well, I don't know, but it could have been better.
Yeah, true.
Get out of here. But yeah, again, I tried to I don't know if I ever tried to rewatch that one. Dexter and Lost, I never really rewatched. I just kind of watched them through when I was done. Mm-hmm. But
yeah. Okay. So going off hard endings, this show for me would have been number 1 if it wasn't for last season, and it's not because the ending was bad; it's because it was rushed. And that show is Boardwalk Empire. Like it's kind of on
Steve
those.
Buscemi.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi, Michael Pitt, Bobby Cannavale.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, it's got
That's great.
Great cast, and it was phenomenally acted, really well directed. Had some great shots, had some great dramatic scenes, some like great callbacks to like Greek tragedies. It was just a phenomenal show, and then it didn't get the viewership, and I think the reason why is because there was another big HBO show still going on right now that kind of took everyone's attention. Well, I'm not blaming. Well, I think we know we want to talk about Game of Thrones here, but yeah, I'm not blaming Game of Thrones, but I think at the end of the day, Boardwalk didn't get its recognition, and so HBO after season 5 decided to call it quits.
But I will say, at the end of the day, a show that we didn't mention, which I'm assuming probably isn't going to be on your list, but Westworld.
Yes,
that show did well.
That is a great show, actually. Yeah, and
Game of Thrones
had a really strong first season. So that is kind of competing with Game of Thrones, but they came out at the same time. They pretty launched Game of Thrones came out a few months after. Yeah,
Boardwalk Empire came out
2010, 11. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like older than that.
No, It came out a few months before Thrones did.
Huh.
And I think Boardwalk is a great TV show. Like Scorsese, you can tell he has a kind of that print on it.
Did he direct the pilot or something?
He directed the pilot, yeah, but kind of took all the budget for that one pilot.
That's great.
But season 2 is great. I know they had the issues. I know there was issues with Michael Pitt. He was a great actor, but my God, like apparently he was horrible to work with. So,
not surprising.
Yeah, and so that always caused issues. Like ruined arcs, it ruined all these things, and some of the seasons were repetitive. But I just think it was a great show, and it just kind of had everything going against it. And then HBO decided, no, we're going to quit season 5. And the thing is, they still had there's 5 seasons of storyline to go.
So were they kind of like? Did they know they're going to get cancelled, or was it like they ended? So they didn't get like a definitive.
So they did. They knew they're getting cancelled. So they had 1 season to wrap it up.
Oh,
so basically they were in like.
So they wrapped it up quick, like you said.
Yeah.
They could have drawn out for 5 more seasons.
Yeah. So basically, it basically just goes a year on in the 20s, and then they're going to get to because all through Prohibition, and then it ended with them coming out of Prohibition. But the thing is, Prohibition ends in 1931. They were in 1925 when they were like, you only get 1 more season.
Oh.
So they were basically very taking their time to slowly build Al Capone, all these characters up. So they just got to the point where Al Capone was going to get big, and then they have to be like, fast forward. And then there was all these story threads that they had to try and finish in season 4. They had to time up really quickly in season 5, but there's been a 6-year jump. So it's kind of like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it had a phenomenal, the ending is perfect. It ends perfectly. But I feel like if they did have that time in between to really build to that, it just rushes to it. And so I can't blame the show itself, but more the decision to cancel it.
So I'll say this: we should definitely do this. We can go back to, but we should maybe just kind of give a quick descriptions of the shows.
Yeah, that's true.
In case nobody's seen them.
Yeah,
I'm assuming a lot of people have probably seen them, but so Sopranos we talked about.
Yeah.
Number 4 was
Twin Peaks. I kind of talked about
it, and then Boardwalk Empire, Prohibition.
Yeah, so Boardwalk Empire is about Enoch Thompson, who's based on a real character, Enoch Johnson, or Nucky as they call him, played by Steve Buscemi.
Why'd they change the name?
Just so they can change what happens to him, his fate, and everything.
Oh, but they kept Al Capone.
Yeah, they kept.
A good story.
It's half real, half
that's cool.
Fiction. So they kind of blend reality and fiction. Played by Steve Buscemi. He's phenomenal in it. I think he's so good.
How's that guy in Adam Sandler movies? Right?
I know,
it's so funny.
I know. You watch him in Boardwalk Empire, and then you watch him in Magnificent Six. Magnificent Six. That's the one. Yeah. And what?
Ridiculous 6.
Yeah. So basically it's just about his rise to controlling how the alcohol distribution in Atlantic City, his fight for power, and there's all these different story arcs as well, but all set in the backdrop of Prohibition in 20s America. And if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch, even with the kind of rushed season 5. But check it out.
You know what to expect. You know, expect that it's going to be rushed.
So. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you got some forewarning. Yeah.
So then I'll just say, so anybody who doesn't know about Dexter, basically Michael C. Hall plays the title character Dexter, and what he is that when he was born, his mother was brutally murdered, and he was kind of born the cops found him in a container, a box container, shipping yard, like in a pool of blood. And then basically the cop who found him raised him as his own. But he found out quickly that the kid had like homicidal tendencies, like he was kind of a killer. So he gave him this code where he's like, you can only kill bad people, you can't kill good people. So his whole thing is that he's a forensic officer, I believe. He kind of does blood spatter and stuff like that.
Right.
And then at nighttime, so that he has an in with like he knows he can research bad people, and then he finds them and he puts them on his table and he kills them. And he kills them the same way every time. It's kind of like a routine. And his dad is dead, but he sees him as like a kind of like a ghost or whatever.
Right.
And he's kind of like his moral compass that keeps him on the ground. But it's kind of a cool concept. So it's like this guy, a serial killer, but he only kills bad people. And then my number 4 was Lost. Lost is about this plane crashes on a random island, and anybody who survives has to live on the island. But there's weird shit that happens on the island. There's like black smoke and stuff like that. Again, really, really cool concept. Kind of basic, but they make it work with everything.
Yeah.
They've recently done a parody of it on TBS called Crashed, I think it is.
Crashed.
And it's like a comedy version of Lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, then so my number 3 is a show that I've actually recently been trying to rewatch. I got to a certain point that I got stopped, but I'd love to rewatch it again because it's, I would say, the best character arc ever, and it has one of the best performances ever.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, okay.
Dude, that progression of that character from like this teacher to this fucking meth dealer, like.
Well,
Bryan Cranston's amazing in it.
To spoil it, it's my number 1.
Oh, you didn't have to say that.
I know. But yeah, Breaking Bad. Yeah. Well,
so as Aiden revealed.
Yeah, Breaking Bad's my number 1.
So we'll keep it discussion for number 1, and we'll talk about it more in number 1 then.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that's my number 3. So we can go to your number 2.
My number 2. My number 2. So now number 2. I mentioned it earlier. It's the biggest like Goliath on TV right now. I know you don't like it.
No, I'm not a fan.
And I know it definitely has its problems, but it's Game of Thrones. And if for some reason Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones. If you haven't heard of Game of Thrones, then I don't know where you've been.
Do you not watch TV?
Exactly. But to give you a recap, it's basically a fantasy show.
Set in medieval times or something.
Kind of. I mean, yeah. But yeah, it's like with magic and dragons and zombies. But basically, it's just about the power struggle to take the crown in Westeros. That's part of the story. There's so many stories going on. It's kind of hard to even like.
But no, it's about somebody trying to take over the Game of Thrones. It's about becoming king.
And there's all these different characters. You got the Starks, the
Too many characters.
Definitely lots of characters. They kind of tie in to the wars. But I think the first. Okay, I know these are obviously books, so. But we're going to ignore that for now.
Well, because they're ahead of the books now. Exactly,
they are. But we're going to ignore the fact that these are books and just based on what it is at the drama show. I think the first 3-4 seasons were great. It kind of starts to tail off with that. And then the latest one was... I don't know why they decided to only have 7 episodes, because I think it could have gone on for...
So they could do 2 seasons, probably?
Yeah, but it felt like it could be 10 episodes still. They rushed the story.
Yeah, but then... Oh, I see what you're saying.
They could have done... Because
HBO spends too much money on it, man.
I know they
get the budget of like a movie for every episode,
and there were longer episodes as well. But it did feel like they just went all out. They're just like, let's go wild this season. It was this slow build for all this whole few seasons. They're just like, no, let's go.
And I will say the battle scenes. Like I'll say this, it's an amazingly shot show. They shoot on location in a lot of areas, and the battle scenes look fantastic. Yeah, and they've only gotten better.
And it generally does have some shocking moments, but then after a while it does desensitize you to violence and character deaths. You're just like, oh, another person's dead. Oh, another person's dead.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. But I'll say this though, so I did get to, I believe, season 4. I don't know if I stopped during season 4 or after season 4.
Right.
But I got up to there and I enjoyed it, but the biggest issue for me is like, obviously it's a drama show, but it's like it would always start off good, so the opening scene would be great, and then it would be boring, and then the last like 10-15 minutes would be amazing.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, I can't wait for it to come back to that. And then you'd go 3 episodes without ever seeing that again.
That's
like, especially Daenerys.
Yeah, they had the kind of stop.
Oh my god. Yeah. Like, I would see her and it would end awesome. And then all of a sudden, like 4 episodes later, you see her again and all she's doing is just walking somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, the pacing on the material is arguably a little bit overpaced.
Too many characters, and I would get to the point where I'm like, oh, is this a new character? Oh no, apparently I should have known him from the get-go because he's been in it before, but all their names sound the same.
But for the most part, it's definitely a great cast. Like an ensemble performance. Like I know that you do have the standouts, like Peter Dinklage, obviously with his 1,000 Emmys. And he does deserve them, to be fair. He's great.
The chick who plays Cersei is really good at playing.
Lena Headey,
yeah, she's really good at her part.
They do feel like they fit perfectly.
Very, very much.
And you see the young characters grow. You see these character developments, like they show Steel, and you're wondering how, like, you know, how far this character's going to go, how they're still alive. It definitely just shows you, even though they have these big villains, it's not like they're just evil for the sake of being evil. They're complex, cleverly crafted.
Well, they'll think they'll know they're doing it for a certain reason, right? They'll have their motivations, and in their mind, it's the right motivation, so it works, right?
It's definitely very complex. And George R.R. Martin, like the amount of like work he's put into building this world and crafting everything in the history, and I know a lot of it does get left out because you can't fit everything on the page into this, and there's so many story arcs that have been left out, so many characters that have been left out. You said yourself, there's too many characters already, and they've already had to cut out a few. So it's crazy, but it's a really well done show.
So I don't watch it, but I still keep up with it, and I still watch the big moments. Big issue for me was that I came in around, I think, almost season 2 or 3.
Right.
So I already kind of knew things. Like I knew spoilers for Game of Thrones. If you haven't been into it, I don't know, skip ahead a bit or pause it, go watch Game of Thrones. But I knew Ned Stark was going to die.
Yes.
Nobody told me, but it was kind of obviously building towards that.
I remember, yeah.
I knew the Red Wedding was coming.
Oh, the Red Wedding.
And it didn't surprise me that big. The only ones that surprised me were Jaime getting his hand cut off.
Right.
And I knew the Viper died.
Right, yeah.
But I didn't know how, and that literally shocked me. When he literally squishes his head, I was like, holy shoot.
Yeah, I could...
Wowzers.
Yeah. Oh, golly gosh.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, like, I mean... you can kind of tell now when people are going to die, like especially with Oberyn. You had the whole stalling.
Is that Littlefinger?
No.
Who's Oberyn?
Oberyn's the Viper.
Literally
just stalking.
Yeah.
Like how he's just stalling with like you just know he's going to get killed. When it was Ned Stark back in season 1, firstly it's like Sean Bean. It's your big big actor. Like I did not see it coming, and I remember just.
It was just I wouldn't have if I didn't know about the show.
No, and it was just like, oh, something's gonna happen. He's gonna saved at the last minute, and then he's like, wait, did he just die? Like seriously?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And like with the Red Wedding, I could just about tell. I was like, wait, something's off. You could just kind of tell the build.
People are like the Red Wedding crazy thing, and I'm like, oh, there's a wedding. This must be it.
Yeah, exactly right. But I mean, there have been some great shocking moments, but I think that it's impossible for me now to watch an episode without. Like, I'll get up in the morning, go on social media, spoiler, straight away.
That's the biggest problem.
And it's horrible. Like, spoilers again.
They should create a filter on Twitter where you can weed out the spoilers.
There is, actually. There is a way you can do it.
That's cool.
Anything with Game of Thrones related, they...
Perfect. Yeah, they gotta do
but I haven't. It's like a Google Chrome plugin.
Oh, that's cool.
But, yeah,
spoilers... Sam, I thought I had $1 million idea there. You got a booger on your nose.
Oh. Ew. But yeah, spoilers again. But when Jon Snow gets stabbed and dies, but comes back to life,
that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, but I saw it on the people who are trying to be discreet with spoilers, like get news articles. Oh, big death in Game of Thrones has a picture of Jon Snow and Sam, and it's like it's going to obviously be one of these two characters. It's not just going to be like it's not going to be like random shot of these.
It's not going to be Sam.
Yeah, and then it'd be like big death in the latest one, and it's got a picture of Littlefinger in the thumbnail. So. Well, obviously it's Littlefinger gets killed. Like, why would you do that? It's clickbait, and that's the problem with Game of Thrones. It is just clickbait, and people just trying to spoil it for you, and it's become so big that it's kind of annoying. But yeah, I mean, it's still a great show. Very complex.
Well, and crazy thing too is that I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
And we just talked the longest about it because it is a good show.
Yeah.
I can't spend. It's a full hour, and it's just for me. I don't know. I got really bored for a lot of scenes.
But I know this is very different, but like Lord of the Rings as well, and that's kind
of
like you don't like the fantasy swordplay kind of
boringness, or it's just nothingness.
I disagree.
That bores the hell out of me, man.
We can talk about Lord of the Rings another day.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to debate you on that.
interesting transition here because, like you said, this show, Game of Thrones, it couldn't shock you anymore because you kind of knew shit was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
One show, my number 2,
here's
that
a segue.
still shocked me, and I couldn't believe it because I'm the same with you, man. Like, my number 1 show didn't shock me anymore, but this show would still find ways to shock me in the later seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing, too, is that it wasn't a massive show like Game of Thrones.
Right.
And it's a pick that a lot of people... I will defend this show till the day I die. It is a good show. You get past season 1, it is a good show. And people are going to hate me for it. They're going to think I'm a weirdo, but The Vampire Diaries.
I saw that coming.
Okay, season 1 is Twilight, the TV show. I'll give you that. There's still a lot of greatness in it, though. There's a lot of cool concept, a lot of like the story, how it's put together, like how you kind of see things happen because you see them because they're like 150 years old. Because they're so Vampire Diaries about vampires who write in journals, diaries. If the name was different, they called it Mystic Falls, where they're from. More people probably would have watched it.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't on the CW.
Yeah.
But they did some things that were pretty like crazy for a CW show. But yeah, so Vampire Diaries, it's about these 2 brothers, Stefan and Damon.
Mm-hmm.
They became vampires in the 1800s, or sorry, 1900s. No, it would be 1800s. They're 150 years old now, so it came out in like 2009, maybe 2008.
It's finished now, isn't it? Or
finishing? Yeah, just finished. So it's in that time. So they become vampires, and this girl called Catherine turns them. But then in the present time, there's a girl named Elena, and it's her doppelganger, so they look the same. And the Stefan goes to high school to see her because he's like, I gotta see her, I gotta see what she looks like. Damon shows up because he's in love with Catherine, and they kind of have this love triangle thing. But there's more characters, and it all kind of comes together. Mm-hmm. It gets better at the end of season 1. It's pretty crazy. And then season 2 on, they introduced the original vampires, and then they got their spinoff, which a lot of people consider a better show. I watched a few seasons. And it just did a lot of things. Like a lot of characters would die, and they would bring them back.
Right.
But some of them they wouldn't, and some of them they would die, and they would go to like a certain place and have to get them back and stuff like that. And it's a little. There are cheesy moments. A lot of like it's a CW show, so there's a lot of like teen like, oh, I mean, we're gonna kiss and have sex and shit. But there's a lot of violent stuff, a lot of heart rips.
Heart rips.
Elijah, one of the originals, is Canadian.
Right. Okay.
And Nina Dobrev, leader, Elena, Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
And also Ian Somerhalder, who plays Damon, is in Lost.
Cool.
So it all connects.
Thank you for that.
But yes, I could talk more about it. I really would, but you obviously haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've no.
And I don't want to spoil it for people because it's a great show. Nobody's gonna watch it. But I'll tell you this: I started watching it because, for one, my number 1 show, I couldn't watch it at the time at my place because they took it off the one channel, so I had to go to my friend's house to watch it.
Right.
And she would watch Vampire Diaries before,
right.
So I'd catch the end of it. And then also there was this other girl who watched Vampire Diaries, and I was like, "You watch Supernatural." I was like, "You watch Supernatural, I'll watch Vampire Diaries because you didn't watch it." Shit.
You just spoil your number 1.
Yeah. I was like, "You watch my show, I'll watch your show." And then I watched Vampire Diaries, and she got bored of mine, but I ended up watching like the entire first season. I was like, "This show's amazing." And she stopped watching it, but yeah. And I had nobody to talk to it with, but it was really good. They kind of introduced these cool characters, and they introduced Lucifer at the end, who was black, so diversity, am I right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say give it a shot. Get through the first season. Watch it with your girlfriend or something, or just be like me, a weirdo who likes watching those. I have a soft spot for those shows.
Fair enough.
They're my guilty pleasure. But yeah. So, anyways, go ahead. Your number 1.
Moving swiftly on. My number 1. You mentioned it as your number 3. Is Breaking Bad. I mean,
you want to say what the show is?
Yeah. Okay. So again, who's not heard of Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
It's kind of. I feel like my top 2 are kind of so cliche, but at the same time, they're
the best shows. Right?
Exactly. They get their claim for a reason.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is about a chemistry teacher called Walt, who finds Walter White, who finds out he has lung cancer, and as a way to not to give his family some money after he's gone and to pay for his treatment, he sells crystal meth because that's one of the things he's good at.
Well, he makes it.
Yeah, he makes crystal meth with his former student Jesse, played by Aaron Paul.
Jesse Pinkman.
They have a great Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul have a great chemistry, and especially like when Jesse becomes like his own real character, like in season 2, like he kind of gave him more material. And after the whole Peekaboo episode, like I won't give spoilers, but it's a phenomenal episode.
Mhm.
Right?
Almost like a bottle in a way.
Yeah, it was.
Because he's only in that one room the entire time. Right?
And I think Breaking Bad is probably the best show that does all the bottle episodes.
Yeah, because they did have the Fly one is very, very divisive.
I like the Fly.
That's when I started rewatching it. I stopped on that one. I didn't watch it because I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this.
I like the Fly. I was actually reading an article about the Rick and Morty Pickle Rick episode and how they based it on the one when Walt and Jesse get caught out in the middle of the desert and Walt has to use all the basic science to keep them alive, basically.
Yeah, it's like the first season, eh?
Yeah, second season, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
And and that was pretty much a bottle episode.
That's kind of cool. I didn't know that.
And that's cool. Basically what they based it on because it was like Rick going back to having to use basic science or whatever.
I like that.
But
as a pickle.
Yeah, exactly, as a pickle. I mean, it's slightly different.
Not Walter.
Yeah, not Walter. Rick from Rick and Morty.
Can you imagine that Breaking Bad episode?
That Walter White as a pickle. That would be amazing. But yeah, they had these great episodes which don't really move the story on, but they're just great for character development.
You gotta have them.
Yeah, you do, and they're still engaging. And it was also a show that just cliffhanger after cliffhanger as well, and it keeps you watching.
And it actually would come back to it.
Yeah.
Because there was only 2 characters. That's the thing. Game of Thrones has so many characters, you can't come back.
Exactly.
Breaking Bad, you're always with these characters.
Yeah. And I remember, one of the criticisms we talk about, for other shows is that you watch in such big bulk that you're watching back.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that with Breaking Bad at first, and then, but I didn't get bored. I was still just going.
Yeah, because it's so well done.
I remember I had an exam the next day, and I ended on I was watching the penultimate episode of season 3. And then I watched it.
What do you mean by that? The one before the finale or the finale?
Yeah, the one before the finale.
Yeah, okay.
And I was watching it, and it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm like, well, now I have to. Who cares about exams, right? And let's just watch this next one.
You know, shows good when that happens. And that happened with Lost.
Yeah.
Where I was in high school, and it was 2 a.m. and it ended, and I'm like, no, I gotta watch another one.
Who needs sleep?
Yeah.
And then when the final season came out, I remember just because it came out on Netflix, but they would do one a week, and so but they come out in America. In the evening, so it'd be England in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd get up at 6, 7 in the morning and
watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, watching my housemates and that, and they're just so good. And it was also a show that seemed to be a lot of happy accidents. There was the whole the season 5, they had the whole Walt with the big gun. They had no idea what they were doing with that. They just made it up. There was a lot of those kind of things, and a lot of it was really well structured and really well thought out. The whole color thing. They had Marie's always in purple, Hank's orange. Walt turns from kind of white colors to black colors as his kind of soul changes.
Westworld does that too.
Yeah, so it's really cleverly done. How they have that symbolism and structure, but then one of those happy accidents that they're just they were going to kill Jesse off in season 1. But now let's keep him around. Actually,
kill Jesse off in season 1. They were supposed to keep Tuco.
Yeah, but he didn't. He ran out of energy.
And he had another show.
Yeah, and they brought in Gus Fring, who was even better. Tuco was great, but Gus Fring was just...
Dude, I'm thinking back, and this was a good show that shocked you, too. There's a lot of moments. I don't know if we should spoil them or not, but...
No. And it was also, we talked about bad endings. This wasn't, a fantastic ending, but it was a satisfying ending.
No, it was perfect. And it was one where you could extend it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Technically, because the way it ended.
Yes.
But it was a beautiful ending, man. It kind of...
It ended it didn't leave you wanting more. It wasn't oh my god, that was the best ending ever. But it was I couldn't ask for any more for the ending. Yeah, exactly. It was a very satisfying
I don't know if we should talk... Maybe we should do a podcast where we just talk about Breaking Bad then.
I'd be down for that.
Because I could definitely... I want to rewatch it.
We can go over what's the best season, what's the best episode.
Yeah, we can rewatch it and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, it's definitely worth it. And it's a show that's about meth. It's not a really kind of...
Well, they don't do the meth. Well, Jesse kind of does, but
it's also got that kind of dark comedy.
It's about a guy who just wants to make money, man, for his family. Yeah. But then it sort of flips.
He gets the power.
He breaks bad.
He does. He breaks bad, which is a term made up just for the show.
That's cool.
Yeah, and also meth can't be blue, which is another thing. But they like
cool.
The whole style of that. And it's just such a juggernaut of television that you can't really escape Breaking Bad. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, someone's going to be telling you to watch Breaking Bad.
And it's not that long. They don't do 20 episode seasons and stuff like that.
And I feel like it could have been a little bit longer, but it was fine. It was fine the length it was.
I think it's what it... Because, man, how much... No, he's a criminal who sells meth. Those people don't last that long.
No, I'm glad it didn't go on for way, way longer. But
Did you watch Better Call Saul?
I watched the first season. I need to keep watching it.
Is it good?
It was solid. I know some people actually say it's better.
Yeah.
But you know,
I think that's just because they're watching it now.
I never engage with prequels as much,
Mhm.
so it's kind of hard for me to get fully behind it. But it was good. It's good. It's definitely more. It's like more of a black comedy, but it does still have that dramatic aspect, and it's still that kind of way Breaking Bad's filmed and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and it takes you back to that world, which is
That's
cool.
cool, yeah.
So
evolution of character too.
Exactly. Yeah, Breaking Bad was just a phenomenal show. So if you haven't seen that, watch it. I don't know why you haven't seen it now, but yeah. I think that's all I'm going to say for now on Breaking Bad.
I'll say one more honorable mention because it just popped in my head, and I had forgot about it because I stopped watching it because it's terrible now. The Walking Dead.
I agree. Actually, I think the first three seasons are great.
Even I don't know, man. I still enjoyed season 4. I still enjoyed when they got separated.
I didn't mind season 4, but I was starting to go down.
And then it just got so boring.
It is boring, isn't it?
This is one of the most boring shows. So mundane. Nothing happens.
And also, I think just the writing the dialogue is so
lazy. Terrible dialogue.
Yeah, they all sound the same. There's the same dialogue for every character, and they're so kind of like it doesn't give the actors anything to move around. They all seem very stiff.
And they got set on this thing where, like, the one season they did where they got separated, so you did mini episodes, you did episodes focused on single characters. When they started doing it, it's like, you don't have enough story.
No.
You're stretching.
Exactly. And there'd be one character doing a righteous monologue in a gruff voice, and then you switch to another story, and there's another character doing a righteous monologue in a gruff voice.
I watched an entire season waiting for Negan, and he didn't show up until the finale, albeit it was a great finale, and that last, 10 minutes of that finale was great, and when he kills them was great. Could have did it. When they fake you out, too, because you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
F you, writers. That's not cliffhanger. That's just being that's being dicks.
Yeah,
man.
and then it's just
you're purposely trying to get me to come back.
Yeah, it's just
I watched the first episode and I turned it off.
Yeah, it's just to basically build hype for the next season, and that's what it did really. And then
it's been going down.
You had all the gambling and that. Yeah, I think it's starting to struggle now.
It's still one of the top shows ever, but it's going down.
Yeah, I can see that.
Very, very slow. And even Negan's a boring character, man. I love the actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
He's
I prefer the Governor. I thought the Governor was great.
You know CM Punk wanted to play that role? The Governor was terribly, super watered down, though, from the comics.
Yeah,
it's crazy in the comics.
But he was great. David Morrissey was great at that character. And I think, is it just me, though? It's weird that Andrew Lincoln doesn't get any other work. Who plays Rick, if you don't know?
It could be some dude. It's also when you're on a show like that. Like we can get into it for my number one pick. It's very time consuming, and you don't.
But I
feel you kind of get pigeonholed.
Other actors have gone on to do other stuff. No one reads it.
It also depends on your motivation, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just feel like Andrew Lincoln should be in more things.
Maybe he just doesn't want to. Maybe he's getting paid so much he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's a lead, right?
Yeah.
But great segue, Jeffrey Dean Morgan into number 1. Supernatural.
Very clever.
I'm still waiting for him to come back. He was in the first season, and then he ended, and then they've kept him off, but he's got to come back for the finale. But anyway, Supernatural, if you don't know it, interesting idea too. So it's about Sam and Dean.
Jared Padalecki and
Jensen Ackles.
That's
Jensen Ackles.
Weirdest names.
I know, but it's funny too because they do an episode where I'll get into that. But anyways, Supernatural, it's about Sam and Dean, which is kind of funny because Vampire Diaries is Stefan and Damon. So I want to do a show with S&D brothers. Yeah. And Stefan's the youngest, Damon's the oldest, Sam's the youngest, Dean's the oldest.
Right.
Anyway, so it's about 2 brothers, Sam and Dean, who...
Wait, does Jared Padalecki play Dean?
Sam.
Because he's in Gilmore Girls, he's Dean.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't an honorable mention. Yeah. Double Dean. So it's about 2 brothers who, when they were kids, their mom... died by supernatural causes. So basically, I don't know how to explain it. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan is what's his name? They haven't shown him in so long. Plays the dad. I can't remember his name. So dad finds the mom on the ceiling, and her stomach gets slit, but you don't see it, and then there's a big fire.
Right.
She gets killed by a demon.
Right.
And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character. Spends his entire life trying to find this demon, and so he raised his son as hunters, and hunters are people who hunt supernatural things, and so they're raised. So then it opens up with Sam doesn't want a part of that life, and Dean comes back and is like, I can't find Dad. He's been on a hunting trip, hasn't come back. Sam kind of is with him, and then they decide they're going to work together because I don't want to give away the pilot, but there's a reason why. And the entire show is it has a formula where they do episodes where it's okay, there's a big bad, there's like a bad creature, so like a vampire or a werewolf or a ghoul or something, kills somebody, they track it, they kill it. It's pretty straightforward. They got a basic formula, but they have cool storylines. They do a great storyline involving heaven and hell. And then it was supposed to be only 5 seasons, but they extended it. Their head writer left the show. The guy who created the show left it.
Right.
So somebody took over because he was done. And I love the fact that it's still on. They're on their 13th season. It kind of loses some legs. It comes back, comes and goes. It's a show that should only be 13 episodes because they do a lot of filler episodes. But it's also a funny show. It's pretty funny. But they have this great arc about how like these two brothers are like kind of the key to everything. I really recommend watching the first few seasons because it all connects and it's really well done the way it connects. And if you want to stop after that, you can. But it's really, really cool how it all comes together. There's like the apocalypse. It's really, really well done. It's a CW show, but it's really well done. And basically, so what I was going to say was they do this meta episode in season 6 where they end up in a reality where they're playing themselves on a TV show called Supernatural.
Right.
So they're Gents and Ackles and Jared Padalecki, and they kind of made fun of their names, like, what's a Padalecki? But basically, so like they're in Vancouver because it's filmed in Vancouver,
right.
And they're all rich and stuff, and they're like, their whole idea is like, and then so they have to act in the show, and they're really bad at it.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't know how to act, and yeah, and so they kind of like their whole idea is like, why would people want to pretend to live this life? Like this is a horrible life. So it's kind of cool the way they bring that in. It's like we have to actually live with this. You guys are pretending about it. What? So yeah, it's just this. It's a good show. Like I said, it's in its 13th season. From what I heard, they want to do, I believe, 300 episodes and end on exactly 300. The one guy does, just because it would be kind of like a cool way to end it. So it would be one more season of like 15 episodes or something. But yeah, I mean, I hate that you haven't seen any of my shows because you can't talk about it. It's just
I know, I'm just like
it.
completely lost, but I'm nodding along.
Yeah, it's just a cool show. Like I said, like a lot of people stopped watching it after I think season 3, which sucks because it got really good in season 5. I guess I could kind of spoil it. Do you want me to spoil it? You ever gonna watch it?
Maybe not. Probably not.
So basically, Sam and Dean are These two brothers are supposed to be the vessels for Lucifer and Michael,
right?
To take over to have the apocalypse.
Okay.
So the whole thing is them building towards, like they free Lucifer from the cage by accident. Lucifer is supposed to take over Sam's body, but Sam tries to fight it. And then Michael comes up as an angel, and he's supposed to take over Dean's body. And at the end of it, they kind of like let Sam accepts Lucifer, and they're going to trap him in hell, but he's not able to fight him off, so Lucifer takes over.
Okay.
And then Dean fights off Michael and doesn't accept it, and then they have a battle scene, and then Sam is able at the last minute to fight off Lucifer in his body and take control, and he falls into the hole with Michael because Michael takes over another body,
okay, yeah.
And so he gets trapped in the hole, and then Dean basically lives his own life now, and he's like, okay, so the whole deal is like, don't try, because they always save each other. It's like, don't save me, leave me in this hole, leave me in the cage, you go live your life. And that's how it's supposed to be. So the end shot is Dean reuniting with this girl that he loves, and they get together, and he's like having dinner with her, and it's supposed to end, but then you cut to Sam standing by a light post, and you're like, what the fuck? How's he out of the cage?
Right.
Then it ends, and then it's a whole thing where he doesn't have his soul and stuff.
Yeah.
But the whole build to it's kind of cool. It's like you kind of see, like, from the get-go, this was the storyline. These guys were meant to do this, but it's all about fate and deciding your own fate. And you know what? No, we don't want to do this. We want to save people. Mm-hmm. It's cool.
No, sounds pretty good.
Like I said, it's a cool storyline.
Yeah, I mean, I might get into it sometime, but we'll see.
Yeah.
There's so many shows.
That's the problem, and it's not like one of those like amazing shows. It's a CW show, but it's good for what it is.
We're definitely the golden era of television. Like, I was even just thinking right now, like there's shows I missed off, like House of Cards, Narcos, even like you got all these different shows that are just trying to fit them all in, and it's crazy, but it's great what television's become.
Exactly. Yeah, and like I do need to watch more dramas. I like watching my comedies, man. I like throwing on a 20-minute episode.
Yeah, in and out.
I don't like having to pay. I like paying attention to things, and if I'm not fully focused.
Yeah.
I will say though, interesting little tidbit. I discovered Supernatural. I used to see promos for it, and I was like, show looks scary. I don't want to watch it. But the one night I was at the TV waiting for it to hit like midnight because that's when on like weekends that's when they show like softcore porn. And I wanted to watch something, so I'm waiting for it, and I see Supernatural. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. And I threw it on, and it was like halfway through an episode, and it was really good. And I'm like, oh, this is a cool show. And so I went back and watched the pilot, and then I was hooked.
There we are. That was a great anecdote to end on. I don't think we can go any further than that.
That's a great way to end how I discovered Supernatural.
Yeah, exactly. We learned a lot about Dylan today.
So that's our top 5. Like we said, it was kind of like the movies one. We haven't seen each other's.
Yeah, and we kind of rushed through it a little bit this time as well.
Yeah, but it is what it is. And also, it's easy to talk about comedies because you can talk about them. But dramas, you don't want to spoil them.
Exactly. We can reference jokes all day. People might not understand that. Like when they're listening to it, like,
so we kind of spoiled a bit. I'll put a spoiler at the beginning of this, just so you know. But yeah, that's the hardest part.
But yeah, if you have any dramas that we left out that you want to let us know about,
I think we hit a few of them, but
yeah, feel free to comment and let us know.
And so that was our top 5 favorite dramas.
Thanks for listening. If you did.